So I'm going to start off with Insulfrog points, and then I'll move on to Electrofrog points later on. I'll just briefly explain what they actually look like and how they work, and then I'll do the Electrofrog, and I'll do positive, negative, and so on. So this is an Insulfrog point. This is actually a Hornby Y point in there, but it's exactly the same for Pico, for Hornby, for whatever make you want. Doesn't matter if it's streamlined, standard, or Y points, triple points, whatever. They're all exactly the same. But what you've got here is you've got your main lines on the outside. Now these two here have constant power all the time. One is positive. We're going to make this one positive, and then this side here, this is going to be negative. Now, with an Insulfrog point, you can see there's these plastic. This little V here is plastic. They've also insulated these bits of metal that run on either side, which are the wheel guides. That's also been insulated from this bit here. Now, what they've done is underneath this point, there is a piece of metal running from there to there, which is insulated from another piece of metal which runs from there to there. So they create like a cross underneath. Now, with the Insulfrog point, when you flick the point, the current now will run down this point here. It will hit this little bit of wire underneath, it will jump across the plastic bit, and it will start again here. And then you've obviously got your negative running down this side. Now your positive is obviously on the top one. Flick the point the other way, and the opposite happens. Now the negative runs along all the points, jumps over the plastic bit, it comes onto this piece of track here. Then the positive is running on the top, and that's how you get current left and right. Now that is very, very simple. Flick it and it just changes direction. There's absolutely nothing strange or odd or different or anything like that about these points. They are really simple, really easy to understand. So that's basically just how they work. Now how they look like, I've already said the main difference between the two is this plastic piece here. And it's the plastic V which insulates the wheels from the metal so they won't cause short circuits. They've also got the insulated here, and most of them also have rail guides, which are these plastic bits on this side and this side, to help the loco go the correct way over points and stuff. So that there is how Insulfrog points work. Now Electrofrog points, they look exactly the same, apart from this V, and all of this here is metal. The whole of that bit there is metal. And the way they work is, the current comes, I'll flick the point, like that. The current comes along here, it hits this one here, gets to here. Now this here makes the whole of this live. The only thing which is not positive on this point in this position is this piece down here. Now obviously this is an Insulfrog point, just imagine it's an Electrofrog point. So the whole of this is live, positive, except from this one down here. Now if I flick the points the other way, the whole So I'll move on to Electrofrog points now. And well, as you can see, it's the same point as last time. It's still an Insulfrog point, but just imagine it. The only difference between the 2 points is that this piece here, which is plastic on the Insulfrog, is metal on the Electrofrog. So the whole of this bit here is metal. Now the way an Electrofrog point works is when you change the point, like so, the positive now comes along here, goes across the rails, hits this section here, which then makes everything else live. This X that you see here, or cross even, it makes the whole of that live, and then your negative comes down this line as it normally would. Now because of that, it creates a short circuit issue. When the point is flicked so, let me see if I get this the right way around, I think it's like that, the points here will create a positive negative crash on this line here, because you have negative coming in this way and you have positive coming in this way, which means you have to insulate this point where the knife is sitting at the moment. And that's the same with all of them. Basically it's the point off, the turning off you need to insulate. So this here is a streamline point. In this case, here's the straight one. Then you would need to put an insulating fish plate there where the knife is now. Basically on the inside edge of the left or right hand turn off, depending on which way it is. You have to insulate that, or else it creates a short circuit, which can be bad for controllers, locos. It just damages loads of things. So yeah, that's basically how an Electrofrog point works. It changes when you flick the points. It makes the whole of this the same polarity, which is good and bad. The good thing is, assuming you've done it correctly, you will have no problem running locos over this point here, because all of this is still metal. It means that there's still a constant connection, whereas some locos you will find they'll go over the point, the wheels will get to this plastic bit and they'll die, especially on the large streamline point, because this piece of plastic here can be up to about an inch long, and if you get too many of the wheels on there at once, it can cause a dead point in the track, which is not very good. Now, I'll just go back to Insulfrog points. In my opinion, they are the best points, unless you are like more of an advanced modeler and you know what you're doing. But if I was you, I'd go out and buy only Insulfrog points. The reason being is it's just a matter of flicking the point left or right. You don't have to worry about short circuiting in this area here, or polarity switches or anything like that. So it's quite simple there. It's nice and easy to use. So all you do is you flick the point and it changes the current on either here or here to positive or negative. So simple as that. It also means you can have dead points and stuff. The other thing is these are very easy to convert to a DCC system. Just by adding, here's one point clip, just there at the tip of the knife. It's you can just see the shiny edge of it there, just bottom of the point. Or you can do what I've done on some point, is I've actually soldered a physical connection between the two, which means I don't need these clips here. The reason I've done that is because these clips, you can get glue and stuff caught behind them, or dirt and stuff, and then they stop picking up the connection very well. So I think it's better to solder between the two. Now with an Electrofrog point, they are pretty much only used on DCC systems, because you need polarity switches and loads of things like that that really aren't, you don't really need to know. So yeah, I'll just go back over briefly. In my opinion, the best ones to get is Insulfrog points. They are simple, easy to use. It's just a matter of connecting 2 points together. There's no short circuits or anything like that. I think they're the best points, easiest. Another thing is you can use these on DCC or DC really easy, whereas the Electrofrog points, you need to do a bit more work if you're on DC, and you need to do about the same amount of work on DCC, basically twice as much work, because there's more wires and connections and stuff you have to put into the point. So in my opinion, if you're struggling about points, I'd go Insulfrog. I think they're just a bit easier, simpler to use, and that is about it. Simple and easy.